Today we're going to solve a fun little problem. Let's assume that you have a coconut tree, and on the top of it there's 4 or 5 different coconuts in there. In this case I've only drawn 3, and I want to measure how high are those coconuts in order to actually try to launch a projectile and get some of those coconuts down. So the first thing I have to do is find out, okay, what is the height of those coconuts? So in order to actually find the height of the coconut, instead of climbing up the tree, or if there's other things in the middle that I cannot gauge the distance to my coconut tree, I actually take 2 angle measurements with a tool like this, which will give you the angle, and a distance measure, such as a tape measure. And we're going to do that right now. So if we have the first angle measurement, which is theta, right? That gives us from one point here, and then we walk a certain distance off to get us to point here, and that distance along with this geometry of the 2 angle measurements will give us the height of the tree. So let's do that now. So let's set up the problem. What do I have? I have geometry. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to draw my little diagram here in the corner. I'm going to say, okay, this is A, so the distance between here and here, I'm just going to arbitrarily call it B, and then arbitrarily call that C, and this is phi, and this is theta. How did I choose these other 2? Arbitrary. The one thing that you have to know on this is the tangent of whatever angle, right, equals opposite over adjacent. So let's just do the math. The tangent of theta, right, theta is that angle, equals C over A plus B. Great. We have theta. Hey, we don't have C and B. The one thing that I do know is that eventually I am looking for C. Want C. Because we want C, one of the things that we're going to want to do eventually is get rid of this B in the 2 equations that are going to come up. So the other equation is going to be the tangent of phi equals C over B. Great. So this is equation 1, and this is equation 2. What am I going to do? This equation, I'm going to take equation 2 and put it B equals C over, right, that's there, tan phi. Great. Now I'm going to plug into equation 1. What does that give me? Tan theta equals C over A plus C over tan phi. One of the things is, because we want C, we're going to start cleaning up this thing, and we want to get C in terms of everything else we know. We know A, we know phi, and we know theta. And let's just remind us what those 3 things are. Theta, phi, and A. Those were the givens. We've created the other arbitrary variables to find our tree height, where C is our actual tree height. Great, so now let's clean this up a little bit. And I'm going to use a different color for this. I'm going to do the math. I'm going to say, oh, this is great. I'm going to have A tangent theta, this multiplies, plus C tangent theta over tangent phi equals C. Oh, C is on one side, C is on the other side. Move that around. So A tangent theta equals C, parentheses, there's 1, minus tangent theta over tangent phi. Almost there. Just one more thing. So, let's move that up. And we're going to clean it up a little bit. Now, that gives us C, divide this whole thing over, equals A tangent theta over 1 minus tangent theta divided by tangent phi. So now that we know the answer, we have C there, and we know that C equals A tangent theta divided by 1 minus tangent theta divided by tangent phi. One of the things that happens often when you do a test or when you're actually doing your homework, people do numbers. I always leave the relationships in variable form and then I plug in the numbers at the end. It's very easy to get lost in the numbers. Plus, it's easier to write theta than 23.17523 blah. That's it for this. I'll see you in another exercise.